Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon listeners. It's Mr. 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒍 coming back on Facebook Live. You give a minute, let's share this video and the program will start. Thank you very much. Today is Tuesday, the 16th of May 2023. The time is just gone 18:40 in the evening in Birmingham, England. I will try to keep this brief. I'll try. We are going to discuss the state of affairs about the failed administration of President Barrow and their desperation in trying to win the municipal elections. And the state of affairs will have to be looked in the political state of affairs. We'll have to really engage this point of the municipal elections and why Barrow is so desperate to win this municipal election. What does it mean for Barrow and Gambians for that matter? And but we need to discuss the failure of Barrow first before we get to that. And we can see why he's struggling and why he's so desperate to win these municipal elections, especially the KMC, the Banjul, and the Brikama area councils. The failure of Barrow is Barrow have never had the intention to lead a good government. From the beginning, when Barrow found himself in power, one thing motivated Barrow was to stay in power and make as much as he can, as much wealth as he can with the people around him. Technically, not even for the people around him, but for himself and his family. Barrow have seen an opportunity to be wealthy. Barrow have seen an opportunity to control so much, amass so much wealth, and to elevate his family to something that he never dreamt of. But Barrow have never been interested in what happens to the country. Barrow have never interested, of the suffering of the people or anything else. He doesn't have pride in him looking at the country. This guy is not patriotic, not a single piece of it. And the worst is he doesn't have what it takes. It's been proven. Barrow have never talked about passionately about the country. Barrow have never talked passionately about the people of the Gambia. Never, absolutely not. Not a single statement. Even the statement written to him, for him, Barrow cannot turn that own it for himself. The only time Barrow talks passionate is when he talks about himself. We all remember. Because when he is at the point of hypocrisy, he's very good at that. And his point of hypocrisy because of he is working on something. when he was selected or elected as the UDP party bearer or leader, we all see him going like that, pretending to be humble. There like that, and talking like that, and listening, and nodding onto anything they said, and praising the Lord, and praising Ousainou Darboe for that. He went on, he became the leader of the coalition. He did the same thing. Every leader in the coalition, he would just nod and he would praise them. And people saw that as a sign of humility, or he's very humble. But the mask dropped the minute Halifa Saleh came to the UK and talked about regime change. And Barrow saw that as a front towards him, that thinking that Halifa is coming to the diaspora to mobilize to go back and confront him. And I wish Halifa did that. For the 3 years, he thought that's what Halifa was doing. The mask dropped. And that press release that went to the Radio Gambia or Radio Television, many people said, no, that's not Barrow. That's Alkali Conte. That's this person. That's this person. It's not Barrow. It was Barrow. But again, he could not keep it. When, very sad to say, Dr. Cissé, who was coming out as a political science lecturer, shared views on Freedom Radio and expressed his opinion as a political science lecturer that Barrow was not fit for purpose. It's sad that he is, now Barrow have proven that he is better than him because he's following the tales of Barrow. It's sad. Barrow was he was so angry. And we all remember what he said. So angry, vividly angry. If he had control over everything that day, Dr. Cissé would have been. But they arrested Dr. Cissé. They tried. People came out. And that's the shame. People came out and defended Dr. Cissé. It's a shame that Dr. Cissé today betrayed all those young people. All those people that advocated for his freedom. But people advocated for the freedom because it's the right thing to do. We advocated for the freedoms of people that were with Yahya Jammeh, and when Yahya Jammeh went for them, we fight for that. That's what we stood for. We fight for everyone's freedom. And we will never regret fighting for anyone's freedom. But it's a shame that people that's supposed to know, people that have experience, the bad governance would turn around to wanting to join the gravy train and this. He talked this. But every issue that had happened, Barrow had never shown empathy. When the Faraba incident happened, that's the only time Barrow went to the hospital to visit the hospital. Barrow had never visited schools. Barrow had never visited crisis area until the press gets to him, just as during the floods, the last floods here, when the press gets to him, he was running to go for holiday. The press got to him, that's at the time he went to visit the flood zones. He would not have done that. To the extent that people want to even believe that his Malabu told him not to show empathy. Some people want to believe that. That's crap, no. I don't believe that. It's just a proof that the guy he doesn't have it. He doesn't have empathy in him. The only time when people were killed by his government policy. And today justice is not given to those people. That's the only time he visited the hospital. And he saw the state of the hospitals. Have Barrow ever bothered? The COVID came. Barrow saw the COVID as an opportunity to enrich himself with his people. The procurement to Turkey. The procurement to Turkey, how many millions? I did not say it. The audit report said. That's why he doesn't like auditors. The audit report said How many millions? He has, I mean, the rise and everything else about procurement. COVID was an opportunity for Barrow and his people. He have never shown empathy. With the death of infants, mothers. You know, when we talk about death of mothers, we are talking about the death of those babies. Barrow have never personally come out or do something about his government bothered about it. No. The only time they'll come out is to defend something. And their defense is to lie. We are quite right. They bought those ambulances were not even fit for purpose. Ambulances today are not operating. No, the ambulances were bought for the kickback. Ambulances were bought for political purposes. To line up those ambulances, where are they today? When we came out and said that that's not what was needed, we needed the hospital to be fit for purpose. There's no point picking up people and taking them to dump sites. People can always be evacuated to the hospitals. One thing we can have is when they get to the hospitals to be treated well. They have never bothered about the infant mortality rate and the death of infants because of the poor governance of our healthcare services, the medication from India and everything else. And children are still dying. This week, children dying. 15, 17, they said. You see, up to the point now, there's no outrage when 17 children die. Senacoda Hospital. It's not even making headlines. That's how bad this government have failed. And because of one thing, Barrow does not have the empathy of the people. Because of one thing, Barrow doesn't care about Gambians. Because of one thing, Barrow is only cared about how much he makes about himself. If he's under attack, he's under pressure, Barrow come out live. Barrow comes out to talk to Gambians. What Barrow does? What is Barrow good at? Dividing us. Dividing us. Barrow would never show empathy to minorities, Christians. He only does for official purposes. It's never genuine in him. It's never genuine in him. Barrow only come out. And whenever he comes out, it's about insulting people. Yes, he insults. Because for a president to go low, to call people's name and attack them, that's an insult to all Gambians. We paid, we take care of him, we take care of his family, we fought, we voted. Initially 2016, before he robbed the election the second time around in 2021. We took care of him, we taken care of him. We have the right and a responsibility to hold him to account. If he doesn't like it, let him get back to his normal life and see if anyone knows about him or anyone will talk about him. He doesn't. He comes out. We all know the strategy of using tribalism. It's not his invention. Started by the colonials to divide us. Yes, came up, but we have never seen this level. Apart from Yahya Jammeh himself doing it, saying it. Barrow followed the footsteps of Yahya Jammeh to stand on platforms and get people on platforms, pay for people to fly into the country and on platforms, take care of them in hotels, take care of them their stay in the Gambia, for them to insult us. When we said that, people thought we were lying. Barrow himself said it. He said that. He came and admitted to it. One good thing about Barrow, he can keep secrets. Whatever you do with Barrow, Barrow will come out in the open and say, he said it. He said the people pay for their tickets. Who else? I know that there's no opposition party here that pay for air tickets for anyone to go to the Gambia. Rather, the people would sponsor political parties. It's the only NPP that pay air tickets for people from the diaspora. Lodge them in hotels. Take care of them and everything for them to lie. For them to insult tribes, insult parents, lie against people and their so-called platforms. That's how they live. And Barrow does that from our money. Yes, I'll say our money. That's what he does. And it's a constant thing. Whenever we have elections, we have tribal tensions. And we have religious bigots taking that opportunity as well. You will never hear a condemnation from Barrow or people that supports Barrow. But let it be on the other foot. On platforms. You never hear the police prosecute anyone. You never hear the police arrest anyone. You never hear the IEC come out with a statement, in fact. No. Incitement. Barrow standing on platform inciting violence, saying that go and do. We are the party in government. That's an incitement of violence. We all know what it meant for a president to say that. We know what that meant. And guess what? After he said that, we see it happening. And where are the condemnation? Where are the civil society? Where are those opinion leaders? Where are those people within the party, Barrow's party or Kabudu, we call them? Where are they? You will not see them. It's the hypocrisy. And some people say to me, oh, they are tribalists. I said, no, they are not tribalists. They are idiots and they are so selfish. For them, this is a tactic. For them, this is a strategy. They don't care the consequences that it might yield. They both by force stood in front of us and insulted his own tribe. That's how he does. That's the idea did it before. He will use you to insult your own tribe. Divisive. He will insult an entire tribe and next minute caveat it and say, no, I am referring to those in the opposition. To make the other people, okay, no, he's talking about the Mandinkas in the opposition. Not the other Mandinkas. Divisive. The Bobai force came out and admit, yeah, it was a strategy. They used tactics of putting odious, pretending to belong to another tribe. We all knew and saw what happens in wherever there's a genocide. Wherever. Hitler used the radius first. In Bosnia, they used the radio first. In fact, there's a term called cockroaches. Was used by a government minister. Ahmad used the word cockroaches on platforms. His records are here. Where are the condemnations? That's the strategy they use to govern us. That's why I keep on telling people, responsible Gambians, keep on telling the opposition, especially UDP, be very careful. You have to be strategic. That's how they play for others. To incentivize foreigners, to incentivize other people that see themselves as tribes to come after you. So that they cannot even win all that, they cannot win elections, but that's part of the strategy. To win elections, then the other strategy is to steal the elections. So that when you stand up to fight, or when you come out to confront, seek for justice, they will see you as the violent people. Look, this is not new. It's happening in Senegal. They want to make Sonko the violent person. They want to make Sonko a tribalist. They tried everything. But do you know why it's not keeping on? Because Sonko is strategic. Because Pastef is strategic. They know how to go about it. That's where UDP especially should learn to know how to tackle this. How to tackle this. That's how Barrow is staying on power. With corruption. With corruption. The backbone is of corruption. He failed. He's never interested. He wanted to stay. And he would go with anyone, regardless of what. When UDP came out and supported him, he was okay. To go after the 3 years, he was okay. He was singing praises of UDP. But the minute his interest and UDP interest conflicted, that he wanted more than one term, and UDP didn't want him over one term, he dropped UDP like a hot potato. But not only dropped them, he went after them. He went after them. He went after them with insults. He went after them with harassment. He went after sacking them from government. He went after their businesses. Anybody affiliated with, he does brutal, just like a dictator. Just as what Macky Sall does. Go and find out. He went after them. And he did not care. He went and consoled. During the process, and I keep on clarifying this, it's not because of he dropped UDP, he picked up APRC. No. From day one, before in fact reuniting or reconnecting with his UDP, when he was in Dakar, he started this. In Dakar, he started this. What he's talking about, he will talk about this. What happened in Dakar, Barrow will talk about that one day. You know, he talked about Fabakary and 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔 in 2017. He will talk about what happened in early 2017 when he was in Dakar, that they will come. He will come under pressure, then because of the pressure, he will tell the truth. He did that. He picked up. Yeah, he was playing. APRC was already waiting. We saw the appointments. We saw Alaji Cisse. We all see, because Gambia, for when we talk about APRC, they go for the grassroots of APRC. No. The technocrats and others. They have a special forum. What's that forum? The APRC technocrats. They have different APRC forums. Even the tribal ones, they have them. You have to know what goes around. It's not what you see in the surface that actually happening. There's so much happening behind the surface. Just as so much happening behind the surface in NPP now. All the new forums, they open up because of preparing to kill each other. That's how it lasts. The truth shall always prevail. He went on to do that. He went and embraced the APRC. To the extent of, because of the corruption and everything, as they have to teach him corruption. They have to teach him how to repress. They have to teach him how to steal. Loot the coffers. Starting from the Janneh Commission, he loots everything from the Janneh Commission. Everything exactly as Jammeh did it. He went after the central bank. He went after every parastatal. Look at the crumbling parastatals. Tomorrow we'll talk about the economy. He did all that. Repression, he tried. That's why when people try to credit Barrow for, oh, at least we have the democracy. Wake up. We fought. We all fought for the democracy. Wake up. And if we allow him, he will take it away. He did not give it to us. He's not maintaining it. He's trying to erode it. We are fighting back. How many attempts? How many attempts? That's nothing he gave us. That's nothing he's maintaining. What we gave him, he's not maintaining, and he's eroding them. Through corruption. Through corruption. What did he give us? The institutional reforms, nothing. Because it cannot happen. Because he's already compromised. He's captured. And guess what? You see, when Jammeh wanted to effect certain things, he knows the people to go for. When Jammeh wanted to go for the PPP, he knew where people to go for. Yeah, even though he had some PPP with him, he knew strategically how to use the PPP with him to build a party and do other things, because he doesn't have the intellectual pedigree. He used the EKSR, he used the Buba Baldes, he used the Fode Makolo NCP, and all those people to build a party for him. Whilst he's chasing the others, put the fear of God in them, and subdue them and suppress them and put them in a corner. He knew how to do things. Contrary to Barrow, he took over and the APRC captured him. The TRRC, he doesn't care. And you see, the only time they will care about this or talk about this TRRC is for this money. Funding. And if Gambians are not careful, the funding coming again, or we are prepared for this justice, they are lying. They are lying. It cannot be delivered with the people in charge. The incompetence or the conflict of interest. Who is the defense minister? Who is the justice minister? You think because of somebody, all these people have been brought up by them. They are all brought up by them, controlled by them. It's about funding. When they talk about institutional reforms, it's about funding. How much millions have gone into security sector reform? What have they achieved? Nil, nothing. He's not interested. The basics. 𝒂𝒏 is roaming the streets of the Gambia. We have enough laws to prosecute him. We don't need any new law. All the offenses that 𝒂𝒏 have committed is against our laws. What law do we need? What we need is the political will. And orders. If you prosecute 𝒂𝒏, you have to prosecute Sana Sabally. If you prosecute Sana Sabally, that means that you are prosecuting Sana Sabally's, what's his name? The twin brother. And the Sana Sabally's twin brother, technically, apart from going to bed, he shares everything with Barrow. And orders. If you have to prosecute, 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 said, you have to prosecute, 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 is the business manager of Barrow. You see? Go and look at the people to be prosecuted and see those people's family or their relationship with Barrow. Barrow will never prosecute anyone. Never. Until Gambians stand for the victims. Barrow have not, the only time he visited the victim center because of a German president is visiting the victim center. What have Barrow ever done for the victims? Even the reparation for victims, he stole $50 million through 𝒑𝒉𝒊𝒏. I've explained that many times. I'm not even bothered to explain it anymore. Because the victim center, they themselves, they are not, interested in that 50 million. He stole 50 million, and I'm making that allegations to Barrow that he stole 50 million through 𝒑𝒉𝒊𝒏. Barrow stole 50 million from the victims. That's what the 50 million given by Senegal, $50 million is. It's on the audit report. When I said it, the audit report did not come out. Go and read the audit report on how they manage the wood that was confiscated, that was seized from customers. They sold it for 100 million, and 50 million was going to Senegal. Dollars, 100 million, they said. Senegal said, no, take the 50 million for the victims. Guess what? It drops to Barrow's account. The 50 million given to the victims came from the proceeds of them. The government have not given nothing, absolutely then. We have seen how the victims are suffering today. How many millions have Barrow been given since he started his party then? How many millions? But not to the victims. He doesn't care about them. That will come to failure of reforms. That will come, I want to keep it brief. Economic policies. Can Gambian tell us what economic policy Barrow is running? One time before Jammeh, the pride of Gambia was our central bank. One of the few countries in Africa that have their own control of their own currency, and that currency was doing well. Most Francophone countries were relying on France to help them manage their currencies. Other countries, their currencies were seen as paper. the cedi, the naira, and everything was seen as paper. The naira only becomes relevant when oil prices go up. When oil prices dip, the naira, would be useless. You go to main cities in West Africa, the dollar was accepted. Up to the early 90s. You go to Guinea-Conakry, I went to Guinea-Conakry, the dollar was circulating. It was accepted because they know that they can easily. You go to Liberia, Monrovia, the dollar was accepted. You go to Nigeria, the dollar was accepted. And others. The monetary discipline and others. Yahya Jammeh came and bastardized the central bank. Guess what? It's the same right now. We all had the how many? Still now they cannot even introduce a new note. So useless, they cannot even introduce a new note. We still have circulation of different notes, or tiering notes. That's how useless they are, because of corruption and incompetence, and the whole lot of them. The entire institution failed. We cannot pick and say, oh, this guy is good, that guy is good. The institution failed, let them all take the blame. If they don't like it, let them resign or do something about it and improve it. They are put out in there to deliver, and if they fail, we hold them completely accountable. Tell us, with parastatal. You see, every parastatal that we have today was introduced by the First Republic. The only parastatal, it's not even a parastatal. For our GNPC we talk about. Go and find out what is happening in GNPC. Shah Omar Digo, at the Barrow Business Manager, is the chairman. Go and find out what they do at GNPC. That's the way they looted the person they awarded so-called Heroes Award, the most corrupt, backwarded person as Ababakar Jawara, fraud. That's the country we have. These are the people we give awards. Because they have money to circulate your money, they steal your minds, they dig, and the environment they pollute. That's the kind of people we are. And this is the person who pollutes environment, who is not accountable for our minerals and other things, who was involved in gun running. That's the kind of person we award as a hero. And we wonder why we're in trouble. Go and find out how he won the bid for GNPC, and that bid he cannot deliver. The bid he can't deliver. That's the bid. That's the contract he's blaming 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 for taking $1 million from him. That's the kind of people we have around Barrow. GNPC and what? Gum Petroleum, which is a limited company. Limited company created by Yahya Jammeh. Limited company. The only reason Yahya Jammeh created that limited company was technically to be controlled by Yahya Jammeh and his people, which is Basi. Go and find out what is happening to that company now. At the beginning, when he came, able people manage the company and rise it. What Barrow realized that it's liquid in 2021. In May, he visited the plant. I came outside to say, Barrow have visited that plant, Gum Petroleum. That plant is going to have a problem. Because he heard about the liquidity of that plant. Guess what now? Technically, they have nothing. Because of what? He have turned it around to the same way Jammeh was managing it. Jammeh have been there till it left. The company have never paid a dividend to shareholders. When Barrow came, have able leaders, what happened? They paid dividends. Millions to Social Security, millions to Port Authority, millions to others. And Barrow saw that he won the share of the pie, and that's how he bankrupted that place. Show me one thing that you said that this is Barrow achievement in helping. The Social Security we talk about, how integral that is. That was Jawara's policy. Look at the benefits. How many families have been housed? How many families have been elevated? If you understand, if people don't understand the social mobility, how many people achieve the education they achieve because of the initiative of Social Security? Because of their families, most parents who were civil servants, teachers and others from money to own their own property. And from the equity of the property, or even the stability they have by owning a property, the environment they create, the environment the estate creates. Go and see how many families today can tell you the foundation of our family to move out of poverty, or whatever you call it, to some of them even building wealth now, is because of the initial property they have. And then to transform. These are the kind of policies we talk about. Policies that will transform. Go and look at the social security bankruptcy. Go and look at the social security canopy. How many families? And orders and orders and orders and orders. Leadership matters. Show me one policy. Barrow came and they created this, what do you call them again? Their program again. What I even forget, you see, that's how bad it is. Personal development program. They call it national development program. I'll call it personal development program. They went for a donor conference and he started to blow the whistle. Oh, we'll get so much money, this. Where it is? There's nothing. We don't talk about NDP anymore. They don't have a program anymore. The program is corruption. That's why tomorrow, when we talk about the economy and we go to everything that Barrow claimed to have built and see how much Barrow benefited. And the failure of the OIC, and today we are hearing perimeter fence for how many millions and orders. We'll go to all that. We'll touch just an overview of it for Gambians to have a feel to see what it does. All the roads he commissions, how much did we borrow from now? Because of Barrow is benefiting two ways. He built a secondary class road for millions because of the kickbacks coming to him. And for that road being built, then he have political capital. These are things to do it. From the Banyan project to anything else. But there's no economic policy that you will look at. But what do we have? Incompetence and corruption. Incompetence, Barrow doesn't care about institutions, how they are governed, whether they're progressing or not. Example of the tourism have completely died because of what? But the head of the minister, the people within the tourism industry came out, risked their jobs, whistleblowed, and guess what? With all evidence, nothing came out of it. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 is secure in his job more than anybody else because of what? Yeah, but 𝒂𝒄𝒏 is part of, especially played a crucial role in the voter fraud scheme because he went to the Saloum in Senegal and brought in as much as possible. He played this crucial role in that. He doesn't care. And go and look at those people that did well, from Queen Jammeh to Abasanyang. These are the people, that's why he rewarded them. He doesn't care. Not because of they are productive. Look at the tourism now. 𝒂𝒂𝒏 stole money. Contracts, 5 ecology. 5 ecology. Not one's been built. And nothing came out of it. But he can hold 𝒂𝒏 accountable anyway. Because Barrow did the biggest scam. This airport levy, which was $1,000, is now $1,200. Incompetence, he doesn't care. Bakari Baji, how many contracts been signed? Bakari Baji, as the Minister of Youth, export levy on telecoms. You know, people at times we don't even understand these bad policies. Because of how expensive telecoms is in our country, it's hurting our economy. They went and increased the cost of telecoms by putting a levy to say that, or to finance sports. Bakari Baji signed 5 or 7 stadiums, mini stadiums, not one being delivered, not one. And that's the same person now he's given to the most strategic municipality. He wants the most strategic municipality to be run by that Bakari Baji. He doesn't care about competence because he himself is not competent. Let's come to the mayoral. As I said, I just keep it brief. There's nothing new I'm saying here. Let's just come to the mayoral. Probably we might have certain things that we highlight. We all seen the energy Barrow have put into this. You see, Jawara, I never even remember Jawara going for a mayoral, who becomes the mayor or who becomes the chairman, who becomes the councillor, or I don't think Jawara have ever cared. And yes, I was present. I'm not old, but I was into politics at a very early age. At a very early age. The competitiveness of any council or this thing depends on the candidate. Used to be. And the most competitive was Banjul. Because of the small size Banjul is, and technically when a candidate comes in, it's because of big rivalry, because it's based on the family ties and, other politics of it. Serekunda, it was a given. Hardly any serious candidate. Because it's a given. Why go on, put yourself under this thing? NCP will try, but nothing actually. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 will just beat them to it for nothing. There's nothing like policy or anything. They are the incumbent, they are the government. The only thing that would matter would be president, and the president is already decided in a landslide. The opposition cannot even poll at 12%. Then why you bother that the opposition can win a mayor? The only time the opposition can win a mayor is Banjul, because based on what? Candidates and family ties. Parliamentary comes, the opposition can only have 7 seats at most. Probably 3 independents, and those independent too, who are they? Because the candidate who they are. It's not because of policy. Lamin Wajwara, because of he was refused. Buba Balde, because he was refused by the PPP. Who they are, their family ties and so on, they won. And others and others and others. You think then mayoral elections will be competitive? No, absolutely not. Apart from Banjul, as I said, family ties or the candidature it is. And people can tell you many forms, type of elections that came. An interesting history repeats itself. The father of the present mayor, Malik Lowe, was found not to be educated. But he was a maverick. He was a maverick. There are so many negatives that they threw at him. But he prevailed. He was his own man. He prevailed. With all the social classes going after him, all these elites going after him, you term him an elite, he was a business. He prevailed. He was a maverick. It would not be hard of, at that time, someone who was not educated to run for that office. But he believed in himself. That's to show you how elections were. That's just an example of what we're trying to get in here. Obviously, the same thing happened with Jammeh. Why? Jammeh could have put a baboon in KMC and the baboon would win. Because of one, if Jammeh were already want to win, the cards are stacked against anyone. From the presidential elections first, then it determines the rest. If the presidential elections cannot be competitive, or if it's competitive and the opposition goes in there to throw everything to it, and once they throw everything to it, they crash. If any businessman have put a little bit of money and they lost the presidency, that businessman doesn't care about anything else, and they're scared of being identified as an opposition. You think another businessman will come and support an opposition mayor, or the opposition will have any? No, the opposition have, if they just use all their energy resources to the presidency. Now Jammeh will just relax and leave things to roll. He doesn't need to bring his jinns to vote for anything. And he can easily win. It's never competitive. But we have seen what Barrow is doing. The entire cabinet, and which is very sad, even the Minister of Higher Education have turned to be a politician, which is very sad. You see, I saw his first video, and he was struggling. He was so uncomfortable. But you see, because he have done more than 1, 2 now, He's warming up. And it's sad that our technocrats that have the position of education minister, higher education minister, been politicized. He have to be very careful. He have to be very careful. His friends and family should tell him to be very careful. He is a professor. He's a technocrat. He is not a politician. Yes, he's politically appointed, but that doesn't mean that he should go to party politics. He should not speak to any political rally. But that's how dictators are. They will push you to the fire. The entire cabinet is on campaign. Government have been closed down for mayoral elections. The so-called and the useless diplomats, you call them. If you call Rambo Jatta a diplomat, and others, we all know how they got their positions. They all run to the Gambia toward campaign forward. This is, you see, that's how crazy it is. You think Rambo would make a difference because on the ground? Yeah, Rambo makes a difference on the ground because he'll come and insult. He will come and to be divisive. That's the only thing Rambo have. Rambo cannot even win their own household. Rambo's own sister is married to the MP of Barrow, who is UDP. Rambo cannot win their own household. Not to talk about other households. But Papa Njai, what can Papa Njai win? When Papa Njai ran and Barrow gave him money, that was the process. That's when some of us were telling the UDP. Yeah, Barrow gave him money because Barrow was trying to take over with him. Gave him money. The amount of money Papa Njai pumped, he cannot even, what did he come out with? And you think that would make any difference again? And others, all these people, what can they give you? But no, he's desperate. And the opposition need to put the campaign not only on their candidate, but on the records of Barrow. Barrow records should be what is voted on, plus the candidates they have. Yes, I'm not saying you ignore the negative acts. Tackle them. But the Barrow's record, that's what is out there. We've seen all that. We've seen millions being pumped. Where is those millions coming from? Mohammed Jazz, so many others. People that they give the $100 million from central bank, some of them. We are looking at the list. We still doing our verification because I don't want to come and accuse anyone. We're still doing our verification. We got in the numbers. How much was given to some people? $10 million. And they have to tell us where they put that money. Yeah. We are going through that list. Some of them are sponsored. Hadim Guy, who's given millions of dollars from Banyu project. And we all know how much these people are having. And they are not giving the money because of appreciation of the contracts they already won and other things they don't know. They are giving it to take more. Yes. That's why if you wonder where they're getting all this money. No, they will never put the money. They will never see them put money where it should be. Their social responsibility, they will never do that. But they will give it to the politicians, to the government, Barrow and others. They'll put it there so that they get more. It's an investment. They are going on voter vying, they're doing all this. They're putting up their candidates, all that. For what? They don't have the policies. No. They don't have the policies. They don't even have the candidates. Why 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 should be a candidate? Apart from them thinking strategically, thinking, oh, what APRC had last time, they are looking at APRC, the results of the last mayoral election, what APRC had. Now, if we have a Jola to represent us, and for them, the only Jola they can find is 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏. and thinking 𝒂𝒂𝒏 as a Jola and 𝒂𝒂𝒏 as a youth. Is he a youth? I'm not sure. That will give us the vote. And now the other thing we do, let's go divisive. Let's put odious, try to get the Jolas to galvanize. It does not stop at odious. Let's take our people, take those idiots and put them on platform where 𝒂𝒂𝒏 and others and campaigns still they did not come out. You guys should call out 𝒂𝒂𝒏. Why did he not come out and condemn the attack on Talib Bensouda for who Talib is, and the attack on Lebanese for that matter, and the attack on the Lebanese community? Not once, not twice. The NPP platforms insulting, attacking someone racially for that matter, because of the attacking the race of Lebanese people. Xenophobic, you call it, or whatever. Yes, this all part for them is a strategy. They don't care about sponsoring violence on people, against people, and they think it's a strategy. And the next minute they say, "Oh, let's all come together." They want to provoke, in the belief that when they provoke, and because of UDP is their opponent, and UDP would retaliate, and they can easily turn rest of the people, because this is the mindset they want to believe. They want to divide us, and rest of the people will come against UDP. This is what I said to UDP during the time of the presidential election. Be strategic, be strategic. Everything starts with messaging. That's what they do. That's what they do. Know how to tackle it. That's what they try. Try the violence, try the push the hate. Provoke them, let them react, turn it around and blame them. But it's not about policies. It's not about policies. The issue will come down to, why did Barrow desperately want to win this? Some people say, oh, because he doesn't like Mayor Law. Why would Barrow not like Mayor Law? No. Because Barrow is insecure. It's in his insecurity. And I can tell you, all the people that know Barrow, since he became president, he has shown that insecurity. People that he knew before that did better than him, whenever he sees them, he'll try to prove that, look, I am better now than you. That sense of insecurity. When Barrow talks about his past, it's about trying to fight back, trying to prove a point. It's not about about humility or anything. For him, it's fighting back. Why he wants to win all this, Barrow wants to consolidate. Because the election strategy failed. And I want to take a brief to explain the strategy. I said this. Go on records. UDP did not even see it coming. I came out, there was a special night I came and did a 10-minute video just to talk about that they are doing it. They are doing it. I know how these things are done. I came out. That video got on my timeline. Talk about they doing it. UDP did not even see it. Do something about it. They're doing it. They got away with it. They're doing it. And I don't want to talk about the other bit they did, because let them think that people don't know. That's the only way we can deal with them. At times, let them not know what we know. They did that and did the other things. And they turned around to say, okay, now, hence UDP did not. There was a reason UDP did not. UDP did not go and challenge. There's a reason. You see, that's why I'm telling people, you got to be very careful. This is strategy. It's a strategy. And they come out. Barrow said it. I mean, okay, now, if anyone challenge anything, because you have an opportunity to challenge the voter decisions. That's, I am telling UDP, because of someone within your party is coming out advocating, thinking that they crossed the red line, they're doing, it doesn't mean, don't trust everyone in your party. I'm telling UDP or any body in the politics, you got to be very careful with your own, the integrity of the people you work with. Barrow did not only steal the elections. The elections were sold to people within the UDP themselves, or people that came and guaranteed UDP. And I don't know why we are naive when we have witnessed what happened 22 years, and we are naive with our own people. That's why. Go and ask yourself, why did UDP not challenge before the voter register? Even people in the UDP cannot tell you. I know the reason. And it was part of the strategy. And once that went through, millions went into the elections. Now they come and say, man, people will vote. They said people will vote, let nobody challenge anyone at the voter. For what? That's how it is. Okay. What happened here is, Yahya Jammeh had a mechanism. Yahya Jammeh had something that Barrow did not have. Yahya Jammeh had a complete control, the fear factor. And the mechanism he had was that he embedded a system within all the institutions, starting from the APRC itself. The appointment of Yankuba Koli, that clown called, where you call him, Bakso, and others as executive secretaries and others. You think Yahya didn't know what he was doing? Yahya knows that some highly intelligent people, he would not, make them responsible. Be responsible of some of these things. But that's a weakness as well. That's why it was easy for some of us to know how to penetrate him. Bakso and others. Yahya went and poached the IEC. Alhaji Omomunja was compromised. Yahya arrested him. Yahya alleged, I'm not saying he did it, Yahya alleged, took him to Pamaltu, brought him out and make him a commissioner. And you think that person would do something? Listen, there was a reason he acted in 2021. There's a reason he acted 2021. That's why I said there are so many things that one have to do to fight uneven elections. Be it immigration, be it police, be it anything else embedded, soldiers embedded. It was easy for you to do it. People knew, people see it. People were hosted at the Brikama campus. People were hosted in Al-Carlos, Imamos, places and everywhere else. And others, they're free. But another thing Yahya Jammeh does, because of his control, after voting, he collects most of it, not all. Because he collects their ID cards. Collects all the ID cards so that he will have control over them. And so that he can issue it out again. Not only that, he have a system to induce, to keep these people coming. The donations and all that. He elaborated a plan. Barrow did not have time to do that. Barrow did not have control over that. What Barrow did was use attestation. Attestation. And that attestation is one. That's why when we talk about, it's not only one thing they do. Attestation was one, duplication was two. Yahya Jammeh used duplication as well. You cannot mobilize 300,000 people together. No. That's why I said the other point, weakness, is your own people at the polling station. Your own people, your own agents at the polling station. How weak are they? Do you trust them? We have to think. We have to think. When we put people at the polling station, they should be dedicated. They should have the competency to do their work. There are many ways they did it. Barrow failed because he didn't have all this control, the fear factor and everything. Why the fear factor? I'll tell you. If Yahya Jammeh already registered you, and you know that Yahya Jammeh got your details, your address and everything, Yahya Jammeh, wants you to come back to vote, you come back and vote. Because if you fear that if you don't come out and vote, Yahya Jammeh knows your residence. Other people who live are over at the borders. Outside the borders, they have people linked, who facilitates. And the quarterly, these people will go and visit them, give them something, rice, give them money and so on, keep them. So that whenever election time comes, again, they'll come back. Because of this is the person, quarterly he's giving us money, quarterly he's giving us rice. Barrow does not have this control. What Barrow have control was attestation, Alcaros, attestation, and duplication of voters. We have seen the voter register. You see one 𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒏 with a head tie, one 𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒏 without a head tie, and others. That's why today, still, the IEC will not want you to inspect their voter registers. Because of this, they came away with it. 2021, 2021 elections. Parliamentary came because of UDP have come out and even exposed some of this and advocated against it. Most of these people get fear to go to the polls. That's why they should continue to warn people not to take part in our elections. Don't shy away. You see, another thing they play, reverse psychology, was on UDP. Or if you challenge them, and UDP leaders say, oh, if you challenge them, they will say that we are xenophobic, we are this thing. You see, they play that on you because you let them get away with those allegations. You did not tackle it well. And as I said, communication, effective communication. You don't expect anytime something have to come, you have to wait for Lawyer Dabo to come and sit and communicate. What's wrong with your executive? What's wrong with your these things? Or duplicating your efforts. You have every platform talking about the same thing. You have 20 UDP platform. You go, you tune into this platform, they're talking about this. You tune into another platform, they're talking about it. What's the point? Or you go to a UDP platform, they're only talking to UDP members. They are not broadening up their base. Now, how can you deal with an allegation is made against you, instead of taking your time and just tackle it well? What happens? In fact, you, give the meat to the bone by acting or reacting in a way that they say, you see, I told you. They are violent. You see, I told you they are tribalists. You see, I told you they don't like foreigners. We have to wise up. And this is the same way I'm talking about UDP. That's the same way they kill PDOIS. And make PDOIS believe that if you don't vote for UDP, if you don't vote for Barrow, UDP will win. You think that if Sonko had that mindset, 𝒂𝒊𝒏 have that mindset today, 𝒂𝒊𝒏 with the leader of our opposition in Senegal. And people think that, do you think that Senegal is different from us? No, they have different leadership when it comes to it. Senegal was ever known for two-party states. What broke it? Because of a young person came with a movement and strategic about it. You said something about 𝒂𝒊𝒏. 𝒂𝒊𝒏 would send the most effective communicator to platforms. And that person would communicate that and cascade. They'll take what that person communicates from that platform and they cascade it down their groups. They control their groups. They have a communication director who does not let the groups just say whatever they want. They monitor their groups. They cascade that and even help them to deliver the message 𝒂𝒊𝒏 want to deliver. That's why when you hear 𝒂𝒊𝒏 messages, it's unified. To the point. Now the word patron, any this thing 𝒂𝒊𝒏 put out, it goes. Say the Nasong, when they came to morally undermine their leader, 𝒂𝒊𝒏 make it people to believe that the masses just wake up one day and name Sonko, Seydina Sonko. No. They have a communication director that will say, okay, to counter this, let's call Sonko, Seydina Sonko. And they populate it, and it becomes, and now everybody said Seydina Sonko. They come with the tribal angle. In fact, get someone from the northern part of Senegal to come and respond. Fold our hands, let that person respond, and then take that populated. That's how they do it. For PDOIS to sit down, and for sad that you see most of their supporters will be online, either going against UDP, or been silenced to hold Barrow accountable, thinking that, yeah, that's the way to do it. And if anybody holds the government accountable, oh, no, they have to label you. What's the result now? What's the result now? As I'm saying, that's the divisive politics. They fell for the divisive politics. You think Barrow cares? But when Barrow came and attacked Sidia Jat, when Barrow needed a seat that Sidia occupied, they said Barrow was the one respectful. He went after Sidia. And if he needed a seat that Halifa Sallah was occupied, he would go after Halifa. He would go after Halifa. He doesn't care about anyone. He went after Halifa before. What is new? Now, this is because of two things. Mainly, in order to consolidate, Barrow needs the municipalities. Because municipalities will play a role in order for them to prepare for 2026. And I'm saying Barrow, and I'm going to come into other people. Let me just put this down before I forget, because that thought, okay, 2026. Now, do you need the municipalities just to do what Barrow did, Jammeh did? The role KMC played. Let me just give example as KMC. Bakari, how to call it? The Yankuba Koli. The role he played for KMC. And Bakari Baji, not only because of his ethnicity and being a youth, again, Bakari knew the system. Bakari was within the system. Even though he tell you he was not APRC, because, yeah, he thinks he's smart the way he plays things. But he have, down the line, he have admitted, oh, I did this, this. No. They only abandon APRC when it fails. And they will abandon Barrow when it fails. They want Bakari in there so that can work. Two things. One, use the municipal in order to strengthen and build a mechanism for election fraud. They are ready, they're getting ready for that. The same thing they want CDC at BAC. People that they can trust, they have control over. That's why they didn't want GT there, because GT is a loose cannon. And not only GT is a loose cannon, there's already a fracture. Barrow knew this, the NPP have already been fractured. Why do you think he pushed all those people, main body of the UDP that joined him away? They are in a process. Barrow was told that these people are in a process to depose you, to form a political party. Is it going to happen? Let's see whether they will want to sacrifice their small, medium jobs in the embassies or hanging around State House. But this is what another thing it does is, when you control that municipality, you be a patron. You give businesses to others, and those patrons, to your patrons, you employ so much regardless of the viability of the council funds or whatever it is, projects. You employ so many cleaners, so many security, so many whatever. They will all be party militants. Regardless, they don't have to do a job. They'll be on the list. You'll be carrying funds. That's what they use this for. It's not to do anything else. Barrow have been told that in order for them to entrench, they need a control. And this is the control he is trying to achieve. That's why he's doing everything possible. Millions been pumping. Businessmen pumping millions in order to win. Divisive. He doesn't care what can happen. Using violence. He doesn't care. This is what they want to achieve. But there's something more deep than this. And we've been following this. I know many people have had this. I'll try and take my time to say this. I wish I have water now. I didn't want to say this. Look, okay, now, recently, Barrow went somewhere, I'm not going to say where it is, but just say it's a very inappropriate place to talk about politics. And people who were there were shocked that Barrow was sat and with all the congregations sitting there for different purpose. Barrow started to talk about politics. And what politics did Barrow talk about? Barrow is talking about him handing over power. He's trying to convince the people or justify, similarly to what he did with the corrective speech, with the Banyan Council of Elders. Barrow, in a nutshell, what Barrow said, according to the people who were there, said that Barrow sat on a chair that was brought for him, and Barrow started to say, oh, he will be leaving because power, you don't have to stay long. He met a president, former president of big country, who was running for 2 terms, and that person said, oh, I am going to leave after my 2 terms, because there's life after presidency, and that person left after 2 terms, and he said he traveled again and he met up with this former president. I think one of the French francophone countries, I think Togo. I'm not sure. Anyway, one of those. But he said that when he met this president and a former president, and they chat, and he said when this guy gave up power, he won the Mo Abraham Award, and he was paid money. And he teased. He said he went to tease the former president and said to him, "Oh, give me part of my share of the money." And what with money? He said, "Oh, the Mo Abraham Award." He's trying to convince people about this. But this thing did not start today. It's just now that Barrow is pushing it that much. And now, some of us have understand the reason why Barrow is pushing this that much. And it's interesting again. Why am I bringing this? It has something to do with the mayoral elections as well. I'll tell you this. Just after the 2021 elections, someone came and told us, I'm saying us because it was not only me, or that Barrow is not going to run for that term. I said, why? Because I'll ask why. What makes you not convinced? I can't believe that. I can't believe Barrow leaving power unless he's been pushed out. The person didn't have the answer. Then if you don't have the answer to that, but it's not that I don't trust the person. I said to him, put badly, Barrow is using this for people to be off his back. That's what I thought. Because there's a precedence of this. I'll give you 2 precedents. Sadauda did this in 1990, 92 or 90. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 PPP Congress, when he said he want to leave power, and they, pretend to want to leave power. Yeah, for obviously he want to identify the inner circle that he wanted to succeed him and all those kind of things, but it backfired. This is what actually part of what led from that day on. Let's say that's multiple times the PPP got completely destabilized and led to the coup 1994. Macky Sall did that during the last election campaign. Macky Sall people came out and sponsored the message, "Oh, Macky, we should just give him a second term. We should just give him a second term," knowing that Macky was lying. Macky, "Oh yeah, just give me a second term. Let me just finish my work. Second term. He was lying. We can see how far he's going for a third term. And if he have this third term, if he managed to suppress the people and have a third term, then Macky will stay indefinite. Take it from me. Take it from me. But let's come back to it. There's a precedent to it. I thought Poba is just one of those. He just wants people to get off his back. Then it came out. Something else came out. That the person came with a development. He said, guys, I think this is really true. And I said, what's the evidence here? What corroborates what he said? He said, oh, the central bank governor has been approached by some party sponsors that they can make him the NPP candidate the next 2026. I said, who are these people? And he said, Wage is part of them. And other people we are not going to name now. And they are within the, some of these other people, business people. But there are other people within. And mainly from the UDP, from the people who left UDP and joined Barrow. They promise him that they can make him the candidate. And this, when he told me, I said, no, I think they're scamming him. I think Wage and others want to scam him. And guess what? Few months down the line, that 100 million thing came up. And some of these people we suspect, he mentioned, were given part of that money. You see? This is kind of a collaborating what we did, but still I'm not satisfied. I said, it might just a scam. They're making him, winning his confidence in order to influence him. That's what you do, when you want to control people. I said they just want to control him. They captured him. He's ambitious. They know he's ambitious. They did this. And he have got to his head. Now he's kind of putting people around him for that. Then it went on. I'm looking for the reason. Then it went on to the vice president appointment. When, for kind of a surprise, the person came as vice president, Mohamed Jallow, that nobody expected and so. Then it really started to be interesting. Now it came out, Mohamed Jallow and his gang of interest groups. And if I say Mohamed Jallow is, and I want to make this, it have nothing to do with Banjo. And I'm not going to identify the interest groups, but it's an interest group. And this is how they came about with the vice president. Now, when we got this, it progressed. Because we had a theory now, and that theory now is kind of a building up. There's been put on the board. Now the point is that Mohamed Jallow actually influence to support of this interest group for the appointment of Mohamed Jallow as vice president. Because Mohamed Jallow is holding up that position, influencing it, planning a succession to succeed Barrow 2026. This is what it came out. Still now, we just put the extra meat on the bone. We're still building this up. Then, bam, Barrow cannot keep secret. Barrow came and sat at the corridor and talked about how he appointed, or he came about to appoint Mohamed Jallow. It was not true. Or I did my kabar. If he had done his kabar and think of Mohamed Jallow, it's because of already something informed him. He knew that through the Imam Ratib and others, they put Mohamed Jallow's name on top. Mohamed was not the only person suggested. And for reasons maneuvering, power, Barrow don't have anyone on his own that he can rely on. But in this list they gave him, Mohamed Jallow was the most appealing for him to think that he can rely on as vice. Barrow did not want to leave, But I'll tell you the conditions that is forcing Barrow to allowing these people to put the thinking to him. I'll come to that. Now, Barrow is thinking that with Mohamed Jallow, I might be able to maneuver this and stay in power if things work out the way I want it. But with somebody else, they might take it away from me. I'll explain that. Now, probably, if Barrow said that that's how this bit, Barrow did not say it. This is what we know that it happened. Probably because of Barrow going through this thought, going through him, this information going through him, he went to pray and he's still worried. The time is going. People are anticipating. Give us the vice president, unveil the vice president, and Mohamed Jallow comes to him. Is that what happened? It's not a miraculous thing. It's just a logical thing that will happen. If you process something, if you have information in your head, it will come up to you in a dream or whatever it is. It's not miraculous. But he did not make it out to be like that. One, Mohamed Jallow's name comes out. That corroborated the other information we have. Secondly, Barrow came and extensively talked about, I am ready. And check this, you know, Barrow, people think, I'll refer people again to the interview he did in Senegal when during the impasse, when the Wolof interviewer said, ndax doo wax waxit, Barrow started to say, waa xam nga ñun dañ am group lii at lii. He did not go answer straight. Barrow did the same thing again. Listen to it properly. Barrow did not say that I am not going to run 2026. What Barrow said that he made people to believe that he's not going to run 2026 by saying that commencé naa di tànn. I have started to select my my staff. This is what I want to do when I retire. I have started I am building my house where I'm going to retire. Making people to believe that it's imminent. But he did not say conclude that I'm not going to run again. No, that would be the easiest thing. This is my last time. I'm not going to run again. You don't even have to say the rest. But why did he go into the rest? Because he cannot keep it. And people, Gambians, might see this soon. Barrow process this and give it to us. Bam. We have enough collaborating. Now we have the reason. That reason I asked just after the election when they told me Barrow was not going to run. Okay. Barrow, I'm not going personal. I have to do a caveat here. Barrow's health is to the interest of the public. I'm not going personal about this, and I'm not going to even go into certain areas of it. I'm just going to go to certain things that are known are of public knowledge. You all remember the first trip Barrow went for that Islamic conference in Jeddah, and he went 2017 with Ousseynou Dabo, Ahmad Ba, Interior Minister, what's his name again? Interior Minister Fati, and others. You remember when Barrow sat and knocked off, slapped? I think that was the first time Gambians just see Barrow just gone completely off. People, if those people who were present will tell you, my father, thank you, will tell you. At that time, Barrow could not even walk properly. Because one, he have a bad back, and he have fallen down. What make him fall down, I don't know. But it's an illness that make him fall down. And when he fall down, the back, this thing, and they had to intervene medically. And they had to start to give him that heavy dose of this thing with him. That heavy dose of medication, whatever it is, morphine or whatever God knows, to help him. And if you remember, there might be, if you Google that image might still be somewhere online. When they were coming on the private jet, there's a picture that Barrow was not even sitting properly. He was sitting very lazy. And my father was there with him like that. I mean, I think, I don't know why Mai took that picture or what. My father was there like that, and it came. It was the same flight, trip, that when Barrow came, he was walking like a penguin. That's why people call him penguin, because of the bag. But the bag is just a symptom. There's other things that make him that, to suffer that. He was walking like a penguin. Yaya Jammeh started to travel with a doctor everywhere he goes, even within the Gambia, even in a political rally. The Syrian doctors will be with him. Because of what? He was ill, and is still ill. Barrow, first president after Yaya Jammeh, started to travel with the doctor everywhere. Everywhere. I don't think that doctor have a day off. Everywhere, that military doctor, everywhere. Because of the conditions of Barrow. Barrow is scared to go for an extensive medical treatment. But things are getting worse. They said to him, okay, let's wait till after elections. Now, after elections, they delay it. Now, things are still not stable. Barrow is still not comfortable. That's why Barrow said that he doesn't want a vice president that is ambitious, that can take over. And I talked about that briefing before. I talked about that security briefing before. Now, things are so serious that Barrow is contemplating of trying to have this medical intervention. You know, something people don't know. In Yaya Jammeh had the same dilemma when he went to Turkey for that medical treatment. That's when Solo Sending came out and he had to run back. And before that, he went to France when Modu Sabali, if you ask Modu Sabali if he's truthful, he will tell you that when they went to France, that trip went from New York. You know, when they went to New York and they fought with the Tangara and Modu Sabali, Secretary General Tangara as Ambassador UN, fought with the demonstrators. That trip, Yaya had an incident there medically. He could not be attended to. He doesn't want to stay in the US to do it. When they came back, immediately go and look at the timeline. He traveled to France. That trip for France was that medical. Yaya would not do it. Guess what? That's what made Bassi to bring the Syrians. Go and look at when the Syrians came. They said, okay, brought the Syrians for the Gambian medical health care. No, they were Syrians attached constantly with them. Because of the similar medical condition, whatever it is, this is why he have that doctor constantly. And wherever, look at Barrow, wherever he goes, the doctor will be with him. And that ambulance is always with him. Short journey, long journey, he is always with him. Now, this is what is happening here. Now, because of this, Barrow is thinking that if I have a kind of a vice president, if I'm absent for a while, that vice president might take up. But Barrow is told that, look, you have to be realistic. And you have to protect yourself and protect your family. You will need this medical treatment. You will need a succession planning now. Barrow doesn't have any sophistication to have anybody else. The nearest to that sophistication, we know who are the people who related to. They cannot carry it. You know, it's not about you have a master's or anything. There's something else that comes with assuming that leadership. Now, this is where it comes. Now, he's thinking that, okay, this thing, probably if I happen to get this thing, I can carry on. He's leaving the door open so that if things improve, he can carry on. But he's taking advice that I need to do something. So that if I leave this place, due to not capable, medically cannot just keep it anymore, that's why hardly Barrow would travel. Because again, I don't want to mention all the symptoms of how this is very disturbing. I'm not going to mention that. But that's why when he traveled, he would try, at least 2 days, this thing, he would try to come back. he will want to stay long. It's because he doesn't want things to happen while he's externally out there, he's well exposed. When these things happen, it's mostly when he's at State House, close people know, but we know. Because of any person knows, it gets out. Even the wife is not keeping it secret. Yes, even the wives are not keeping it secret. Now, this point of the guarantor of the succession, so that prosecutions, your wealth and family and everything will be these things, that's where 𝒂𝒊𝒏 comes in. That's why you see 𝒂𝒊𝒏 is not only interested to have a candidate he's looking for a platform and so that he will have control. And I talked about 𝒂𝒊𝒏's ambitions before. He planned a political party, but he made a deal with Barrow. When Barrow find out, now that's why he's having everything from government. And this is the situation we have. Now, this is why I said it's important for them to win these mayoral elections, to hold up. One, for their future elections, voter fraud, future to entrench themselves, because still he could not entrench. He did not have the desired numbers for the parliament. Now, he needs to have the control the councils. Again, what council can do for him is to enable the the voter corruption, or again to build up his mobilization, grassroots mobilization, as council can do, because you give contracts, jobs, and everything, and money and events organized and everything else, just as Yahya Jammeh used to do. That's the thing. But again, people like 𝒂𝒊𝒏 investing, Hadim guy investing, it's not because of what they have already benefited from, no, benefiting for more. But for 𝒂𝒊𝒏, it's not only about the investment in money, it's about leadership. Now, if we are selling our democracy, what does that mean? That's why I said these elections are really important here. And I'll tell you one thing. If I am to vote, expect me to vote for the opposition. And technically, only one opposition we have now. That's why I said I am saddened. I am saddened that the hope we had, that after 2017, that PDOIS, as I said, I went to London, I supported, PDOIS would have stood to be another alternative. I don't like two-party states. And that would have given us hope. Because two-party states would just be mainstream parties being divisive and not hold each other even accountable, because they are part of the system. That's why we need an anti-establishment always in the mix to control. Now, if I was to vote, I vote for the candidates who are standing against the NPP. Based on what? If you look at the qualities even of candidates, but again, the most important thing is to stop Barrow entrenchment. To stop Barrow is very strategic for us, and not to encourage. If we encourage that he can use divisive politics, he can use violence, he can use corruption, and decide our elections, you think Barrow would change anything? No. We empower them to do as they wish, knowing that next election they will do the same thing. But we know what will happen. Democracy will fail. When democracy fails, destabilization will happen. That's when people don't have confidence anymore to the ballot box. What do? Illegal way of taking over power. What is happening in Senegal now? Sonko and Pastef doesn't have confidence in the justice system anymore. And I support they should not waste their time going through a process where even your security cannot be guaranteed to go and answer to the courts. Then I will stay where I feel secure. This is what happens when justice fails. This is what happens when democracy fails. It's to our interest to make sure that especially no NPP candidate win that election. Not in Banjul, not in Serekunda, not in Kems, especially Banjul, Serekunda, BSc. candidate-wise, and for other reasons. If you have an opposition, be it Banjul, Serekunda district, what will happen? You give a balance of power at least. Government have central, NPP have central government in control. Now local government get controlled by the opposition. And you know that the government will always be on the case of the opposition. You know that they will always be case of the opposition. At least we have something. It's strategic then to vote and vote for the opposition. The only thing, we see the resources they're wasting, bringing all these people from non-entities from wherever they posted. If I was in government today, I'd close all those embassies. They're useless. It's just job creation. Anyway, guys, I wanted to keep it brief. At least we just gone past the hour-and-a-half mark. But tomorrow we'll talk about the part of the economy, just to show you how failed Barrow's economic policies are. And we are starting to see more of that. We have seen the effect on our tourism. And if tourism came out with any numbers, they're lying. Of improvement is a lie. The businesses will tell you. We have now seen the prices of bread, and I tell you everything is going to go up. We're going to discuss that. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good evening. Thank you.